Thanks for joining us for the PHNX Suns postgame show, brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's #1 sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcast, and leave us a 5-star review. It is official, everybody. We are 1-0 in the KD era.
Turn it up.
The Suns defeat the Hornets 105-91, and we are all feeling good tonight.
What up, Katie?
Here's a little KD sax for you all right now. Let's go.
You're really good at hitting that post right there.
Oh, I got it timed down to her read. I pretty much know. Usually she's a little slower. She kind of sped it up a little bit, so it wasn't the same kind of drop off. But
I try, but I always forget exactly where it is.
Just keep doing what you do, Lindsay. I got you.
Can we get a hey, Kev?
Hey, Kev.
There we go.
Hey, Kev, what's going on?
I know, man. Come on, give me a hey, Kev, man.
That's how I said it. Hey, Kev.
That's how it is.
You did.
Just, hey, Kev.
Hey, Kev.
What's up? Real casual.
I'm just consistent.
Consistently awful.
Listen.
Hey.
Listen. If there's one thing we can all agree upon, it was a thing of beauty tonight to watch Kevin Durant play for the Phoenix Suns. Obviously, yes, there are some things that will get ironed out and buttoned up and all the things. But from just the core basic level, this was fantastic.
Yeah, it was. It was a debut, and he played as good as you thought he could, and he still got it. So there's some things that they're gonna iron out for sure, but overall, you got to leave impressed with just the level of ease that they were able to fit him into.
I mean, this was everything you could have wanted. I mean, they won all but one quarter. DA had 23. Book had 37. Or excuse me, KD had 23. Book had 37. DA had a 16-16 triple-double with double-double with 4 assists. Like, you could not have asked for anything more in a game that they're trying to learn each other and figure out how to play together. If this is the beginning, I can't wait to see what it looks like as a final product.
Yeah, I mean, when your 3 main offensive weapons right now go for 76 combined points on 63% shooting, I think, that's pretty darn good, especially when they haven't played together before. Durant was hyper productive. He only played 26 minutes because he's still on that minutes restriction. Shane Young, who is a national NBA writer, was at the game tonight, said Monty is planning to keep him on a minutes restriction for the next week. So if this is what he can do on a minutes restriction, like, you're cool with that. Obviously, this is the Hornets. You're going to be able to get away with a little bit more against a team like Charlotte, but these guys hadn't played together at all. And it did at times feel like it was kind of just like, all right, Kevin Durant, your turn, Devin Booker, your turn. And that'll get smoother as they go along. But this was a really, really promising start.
One thing that I think will change the minutes restriction, I'm almost positive I can say this, Sunday is not going to be a minutes restriction. I'm sorry. It's just not.
It's
not against
Mavs.
Kyrie, not against Luka, not against the Mavs. Like, we get to the fourth quarter, I'm going to take a hunch that he's not going to sit the last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter.
I mean, I don't see anything wrong with saying that because Monty did break his minutes restriction when Book came back for one of those games as well. So I could see that.
Monty's minutes restrictions are more
They're loose.
They're situational.
They're suggestions.
Yeah.
They're written in sand. You can get rid of them real
I
quick.
feel
He's like, minutes restriction.
not to throw shade, but a lot of things when it comes to Monty are a little bit loose around these parts these days.
Yeah,
You think Jordan took it personally that KD dropped 23 in his return?
Yes, I do.
Oh, Kelly Oubre did.
Kelly Oubre took that personally.
He took it so personally he couldn't hit a freaking shot in the first quarter.
It's funny. I didn't even think about that. The fact that DA or KD had 23 against Michael Jordan's team. That's kind of fitting.
All right. Couple things with Kevin Durant tonight. Let's kind of dive in and just talk about some of the things that we saw. Obviously, one of the big questions coming into tonight's game that a lot of people leading up to this, originally it was the big question mark was, but what about defense? We gave up our best defender. And then because we had so much time before Kevin actually played a game with the Suns, it was well, actually, he's not a bad defender. So it wouldn't be that big of a drop-off. So defensively, let's talk about what we saw tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell, obviously, when you lose a guy like Mikal at the point of attack, that's going to bother you. And Josh Okogie got the start. He's going to be filling that role. But Kevin Durant is having one of the best defensive seasons of his career. And I wrote about this at gophnx.com earlier today. But he provides a few things that Mikal couldn't. Obviously, not that point of attack defense, but as a secondary rim protector, that's going to allow the Suns in their pick and roll defense to bring DA out a little bit further on the perimeter, which is something he's well versed in doing and has the foot speed and lateral quickness to do because they have Durant lying in wait as a weak side rim protector. That's huge. We saw him get 2 blocks in his first 5 minutes doing that exact type of thing that we saw him doing all season long alongside Nick Claxton in Brooklyn. So this is a huge thing to have his length and his defensive instincts on that side of the ball. There was one shot clock violation where him just showing was enough to throw off the Hornets offense, and they got frazzled and didn't realize they were running out of time. So yes, they're going to play much better offenses than Charlotte, but for his first game and for still trying to learn all their defensive principles and whatnot, he showed glimpses of what he's going to be able to do with that rim protection.
He has insane length. There's not many guys that look like Mikal Bridges, and we have one other guy that looks like Mikal Bridges lengthwise, right? Like, and he's taller. So from the perimeter, it's very hard to get your shot off against him. You got to put more arc on the ball, or you got to make sure you get a little bit more of separation. And then, as Gerald mentioned, down low. But the thing that I love, and Kevin Durant has always been known as a very good help defender. He's always been good at team defense. The one-on-one stuff, you can get him a couple times here and there, but the team defense, and there's one specific possession where he basically guided his man, to Jock on the block. And he kind of got beat a little bit, but even though he got beat, he saw that Jock had position, so he got to the cutoff point so those two could kind of bracket the guy, and they ended up getting the shot block. And so those are the small little things that Kevin Durant is very good at. He knows when he's cooked, and he knows how to recover. And sometimes, like we talked about it a little bit yesterday with Josh Okogie, is like he got cooked a couple times and he didn't recover properly, so he exposed everybody else on defense. But KD's not that guy. So it's KD's just an elite, intelligent basketball player, and this shows you why.
Well, I mean, when do you remember the starting lineup having 6 blocks? I mean, this starting lineup as a whole had 6 blocks: 2 from Durant, 1 from Okogie, 1 from Ayton, 2 from Devin Booker. Just aggressiveness on defense, and I think a lot of that obviously was spurred by KD in those early 2 blocks. But I thought DA looked good, shifted well on defense tonight. Devin Booker very engaged on defense. I'm excited to see what they can do on that side of the ball. And the team as a whole finished with 9 blocks. Jock Landale with 2 of his own off the bench. As long as this defense is aggressive, I think they're going to be fine this year and through the playoffs on that end of the ball, even though that they did take some losses in terms of, obviously Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson to a certain extent. I think they're more going to make up for it with the effort and with what KD brings.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Now let's talk about just Kevin Durant, obviously offensively, because it's a joy to watch him out there. Sometimes it's just like, how? But how, though? You know what I'm saying? He finished tonight with 23 points. He was 10 of 15 from the field, 2 of 4 from deep, 1 of 1 from the charity stripe. This is going to open so many doors for us. He
makes it look easy. And he's just so efficient with his movements. Like that's the thing about KD, is he's an elite player because, again, he's perfecting his craft, and that's the beauty of him. Honestly, the biggest takeaway I had today, and I said this on the watch along, was towards the end of the game when Devin Booker missed a free throw for the second time in the game, and KD gave him shit for it. And then in the post game with Tom, he says, like, yeah, he played awesome, except he missed free throws.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because that shit's going to cost you if you don't buck that shit up. And same thing with CP3. Like he's been missing free throws too. And like, I love that it was like, yeah, but for KD, like there's just, and he said, there's such another level that we have to go to. And Devin Booker is going to be the key to that. And so when you watch KD play and you watch how he affects everybody else offensively, defensively, I don't know if we've really had a guy quite like him before.
Well, I think he takes a lot of crap for not being a leader, but what he said there and the fact that he gave Book crap for that's a form of leadership out there, right? Because yeah, he said it in jest, but Book also knows he means it deep down that you got to lock that in. And there's something to be said for the quiet leadership like that. It doesn't always have to be Chris Paul's version of leadership or even Devin Booker's version of leadership. I think Kevin Durant is going to come in and offer a lot of that. But one thing I really loved about his game that I didn't think I was going to notice as much, and you had brought this up, Gerald, you or Saul brought this up yesterday, but him on the block. I loved seeing KD on the block and knowing how to make the right move. Is it the pass? Do I get aggressive and take the shot? That's going to be fun to watch because I think you can get a lot done that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the scoring was on display, especially in that fourth quarter. Ironically, we saw the scoring barrage early in the game, but during that fourth quarter, the Hornets had cut it to 6 with like 10:45 to go in the game, and from there, KD scored 11 straight points to help them push the lead back to double digits. And those are the types of runs that he's going to be capable of going on. Like this is his first game back and not having played in 2 months, basically. And he just goes out there, quick little 9-point burst. The Hornets scored a little bit in between, but it didn't matter because he just kept doing it. 4 straight plays where he got to his jumper. He had that and one jumper where he got fouled on. And there's no defense for that, no matter who you're playing. If you try to contest Kevin Durant that close, there's a good chance you're going to land right where his feet are landing and foul him in the process. And he's still going to hit the shot anyway. So that's the type of thing that he is the ultimate security blanket. He's the ultimate bailout option when defenses get tight.
Well, and that was with an all bench lineup with him when he did that. So not only does he go on that run, but Book gets to save his energy so he can go on his run when he comes back in. And that's the difference here. In the past, it would be Book would come in, go on that run, and would lose a little gas, and they would be trying to find that guy in the middle of the fourth that could extend the lead or at least keep it where it's at. Now they got that. They can rotate guys through and do that, and that was a huge part tonight.
All right, I want us to go around the room and share our favorite Kevin Durant moment from tonight's game. I'll start.
Okay.
Mine was when Book passed him the ball and Book just immediately turned around, put up 3 fingers in the air and walked back.
That was pretty
And Kevin
great.
Obviously nailed the bucket. That was my favorite moment from tonight's game. That involved KD.
I already gave mine, the free throw and him getting on him. I just love that.
Mine was probably a sequence early in the game where he got the block and then came back down and hit a 3 in transition. That's the epitome of what he's going to be able to do for this team.
Yeah, mine easily was KD was at the Charlotte free throw line, had the ball, gave a no-look pass all the way down the court to Book for a dunk. Like that, to me, that's when this gets really fun, is when these guys, I mean, this is game 1. They already had that connection. I love to see it. And those are the kind of buckets that in the playoffs are going to really fire up the crowd here in Phoenix and could cause, big runs. I love that play.
Yeah, and we'll definitely talk a little bit more about Devin Booker in the show, but I do think there's something to be said about the fact that this seemed like it was so almost an seamless kind of transition, if you will. Like, I know there's stuff to clean up and the chemistry will get better, but at least between Book and KD, and I do think that what we had mentioned in the pregame show that Brian Windhorst had shared about the two of them not going away for All-Star break, but choosing to stay here in Phoenix and work out together in the gym and build up that chemistry. I do think that does give us a little bit of a leg up, plus their history together, Monty's history with KD and KD's with Monty. Like, I just think it's going to be a lot easier, which is weird to say because it shouldn't necessarily be easy, but it is.
Yeah, it's gonna be fascinating to watch these two grow together. And the one thing that I don't think we've all talked about at all, to be honest with you, is like KD, when he joined the Warriors, he had Clay and Steph there who had won a championship already.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm 1,000,000% positive that even they told KD, like, we know you're one of the greats. We know you're awesome and you're joining an awesome team, but it's not easy. There are levels to this that will stress you and push you to the brink. And I think KD is going to do that same thing with Devin and even possibly CP. Because CP3's never won a championship. Like, there's an education level to this that I think Devin Booker is so hungry for, that I think this is like the perfect timing for Devin to have a KD. I think if Devin had KD on his team 5 years ago, he doesn't appreciate it as much as he does right now in this very moment, because he's been there. He's come close. He couldn't get over the hump. How can they do that? You bring KD into the fold, and even KD, just by talking about the free throws even, is letting you know how the small details really, really do matter in the long run. You gotta sharpen up, you gotta stay focused, and you gotta be ready to play at all times, because you never know what could happen. So I think that's a lesson that the Suns learned last year in Game 7, in the 7-game series against the Mavs, and now they're learning and really embracing this year with KD.
I also think there's just a certain type of joy in coming here versus where he was coming from. Obviously the summer with the trade demand and everything that was going on over the last year, with Kyrie and James Harden and all of that drama, like he's talked a lot about, just, for him, it's all about the basketball. And that's what it is here too. Like, obviously the Suns have seen some turbulent moments over the last year, but at their core, this group has always been about the basketball. And you could see it just like when Book tried to get that steal near the end and it went off his leg, and Kevin Durant was like patting him on the chest and they were laughing about it. Like, these are just two people that have the same mindset, and playing with a very good team like this that is all about that work. It does we saw a reinvigorated Book tonight, and there's more of a joy watching this team play, and it was only night 1. So that's going to be something that they can build on as they get more familiar. And it's going to be a blast, obviously, for us to be able to watch it.
Yeah. All right. We do have 2 super chats that I'll bring up, and then a couple more in just a little bit. First and foremost, from DC. Thank you for your super chat. They said, we need, quote, Ket Bender and jerseys.
We do. We really do.
I know. Everybody's been saying, like, why I can order it. And even if I do, Derek was saying he tried to go online and get one of the custom made ones. And if it says Kevin Durant's name on it, it still ships later. But if it says my name on it, it'll ship tomorrow. And I don't know why.
What?
But they need more. We need Kevin Durant jerseys.
I get the Dragon Bender thing and the Kevin Durant. We're just merging the two together.
It was
so there
because
was
you
a
have-
meme where a guy took a photo of his Bender jersey with Bender and 35, and then he put in tape like K-E and then A-N-T. So it was Kevin Durant. When they found out they were
Durant.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You're just you're
I was
making
separating
the
it all
most
out.
out of what you
Bender,
have.
Durant.
I think we need to get one of those for in center of the set here. I would love that.
Honestly, that was one of my favorite little nuggets. It was so creative.
It was
like
it's
it
very
was.
creative.
You really can't be
Now that
mad
I
at
get it, it's super creative.
All right. And then Espo's Burner, thank you for your super chat. They said, Katie picked the Suns because of Espo. Thanks, Espo.
Because Epso.
Sorry.
You're welcome.
Oh, well,
even if it wasn't spelled
I'm sure it
Thanks,
meant
Epso.
Espo, right?
Thanks, Epso.
Espo. I don't care. I'll take credit regardless. Sure.
We have an alternate alias for Mr. Espo over here.
What do we have now?
When he's being salty, Greg has showed up.
Oh,
Greg has showed up.
Greg has entered the chat.
You got even more alter
So we have
egos
Greg
on the
and
Call me
chat.
Chelsea.
Greg and Chelsea, yep.
Wow.
My cousin Greg.
The worst.
Cousin
Greg. God.
Fantastic. All right, guys, we're going to get into even more of this game. But first, if you haven't already, grab your snacks and buckle up. And if you don't have any snacks, well, guess where you can get
We have a
snacks.
treat for you. Oh, yeah.
That's
We
right.
have the treat for you,
We are
baby.
so excited
Let's
to be
go.
partnering with our friends over at Circle K, the ultimate place to get all of the snacks.
it's a
And if
double
you
treat
are
for you guys.
watching, we're going to give you an example of how many snacks you can get your hands on. by heading to a Circle K. Look at this thing, you guys. Look at this thing.
For those of you listening on audio, this is one hell of a snack rack.
We got a snack cart for the office, all thanks to Circle K.
You gotta go all the way around. Ladies and gentlemen, Emma is here. Emma is here.
But let me get a snack off of it.
Let's grab a snack. We got some orange slices. From our friends
here's the
at
thing. Circle K is by far my favorite gas station, and I won't get into it here. We'll talk about that another time. But just know Circle K is elite. And in honor of our brand new partnership with them, we have teamed up for an amazing giveaway opportunity. So, guys, pay attention here, okay?
Okay.
You have to text PHNX to the number 31310. That is PHNX to 31310 for a chance to win a $500 gas card. Like, who doesn't need a $500 gas card in their life right now? All thanks to our friends over at Circle K. See show notes for more details, but make sure you do it. We want somebody, like, we're literally trying to give you $500 in a gas card for free. Just sign up and take advantage of it.
One of our Suns listeners or watchers better win this. Like, I want you guys to text that number incessantly to ensure that one of you wins it and not one of the Cardinals people or one of the Coyotes.
We need
we need one of our Suns people.
That's right.
That's right. I said it, Coyotes.
Just send the "you up" text right now.
So make sure that you guys text that again. It's 31310 and it's PHNX. Again, see show notes for more details.
Circle K is elite as fuck.
Circle K is elite, and I will fight anyone on this. Again, for another day, we will have a debate about this at some point in time. We already did here, and everyone thought I was like wild because I'm literally obsessed with Circle K.
I ate dinner from Circle K tonight.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have a lot of time before a live watch along. I got one of their chicken sandwiches. It was actually spectacular.
Yeah.
I was a little, honestly, you go, I got a gas station sandwich. No, this was not a gas station sandwich. This was a spectacular chicken sandwich.
All right, let's go ahead and name our draft king of the game. This one was a toss-up, but we decided. Well, Book did have a really solid outing tonight.
But that's not the story.
But it's his first game with the Phoenix Suns. I was going to say in Phoenix, but we're not in Phoenix. First game with the Phoenix Suns. It's got to go to Kevin Durant.
Oh, I thought we were going TJ Warren.
That's not his first game with the Suns.
The first minutes he played.
Kevin Durant is our draft king of the game. He finished with 23 points, 6 rebounds, 10 of 15 from the field. Oh, and also, did I mention 2 blocks? Congrats to Kevin Durant. We're really happy to have you here in Phoenix with us and finally able to play with this squad because it's been a joy, even though it's only been one game. We have all thoroughly enjoyed it. And I also really love that you helped me win my bet on the DraftKings Sportsbook app tonight. So shout out to you for that as well. I think I was the only one who hit my bet tonight. Granted, it was the lowest odds and the easiest bet to hit of the night. I had an alternative spread, Suns at 6.5, DA double-double, Chris Paul 8 assists, and Kevin Durant 15 points. But it hit, and that's all that matters. So what does the leaderboard look like, Emma? Oh, I love it. Love to hear it.
Look at that.
Oh, wait.
Oh, she took the lead.
Did I take 10? The lead? Yeah, you
The math appears that you took the lead.
So Saul is at 164.13. I am at 165.04, and Espo is at 104, which means I'm back in the lead. Am I back in the lead? Love this. It's okay. We believe you, Emma.
I want to hear this.
The math is mathing.
Oh, it's mathing. So Lindsay started with 135.54, and then with her bet, she won 29.50, which equals 165.04. You lost 10.
Does it?
And Espo lost 10.
It does. The math is correct.
I did the math.
The math is correct.
I'm not so good with the math. I don't know if I trust that.
Hey, don't question Emma and her math.
Sir, respectfully.
Put some respect on her name.
When Saul has doubts, he turns Italian. I'm not so sure about the math.
Go ahead. Give me those numbers one more time.
I'm offended.
Okay, so Lindsay.
You're going to be this much of a sore loser?
Lindsay started with 135.54.
Enjoy my blue
plus
shorts.
29.50. Gerald, can I have another shark?
Yeah, I got you.
All right.
They're delicious, aren't they?
Am I right?
So, Saul,
You're
is she right?
She is right.
Okay. Well, there
the
you
math
go.
is mathing.
The math is mathing. Saul is salty right now because I am back on top. Let's freaking go. Kevin Durant, a Phoenix Sun. What a time to be alive. If you guys have not downloaded the DraftKings Sportsbook app yet.
Smug ass over here. I swear.
I'm being super smug because you literally made her do math in front of you.
No, you were smug before I made her do the math. Let's not get it
but the
twisted.
math put it over the
That's not
edge
the
where
reason.
now I have to step it up even more.
I love that
Now
you
you
didn't
see
take
why I
our
was
word for it.
dancing when I
No,
took
no.
the lead. Oh my
Wait. I'm sorry. If we rewind this program
Mhm.
back to when we first started implementing this game, you were so salty from the jump, which is why I started being smug because I was like, I'm going to rub this in.
Look, you guys have your little fight. I'm going to come back.
Calm down
and
there,
make
last
you
place.
both feel
Nobody wants to
pretty
hear you from
stupid.
last place over here.
Okay,
I
anyway.
can't hear you from all the way
Enough
down
with
there.
our shenanigans. If you guys haven't downloaded the DraftKings Sportsbook app yet, make sure you do that. But sign up with that promo code PHNX because new customers can bet $5 on the NBA and get $200 in bonus bets instantly only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting of the NBA. Again, with code PHNX. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. So we did talk about KD and Book, and the king of the game, of course, went to KD. But Devin Booker had a really solid game too. And FRBS in the chat said the easiest 37 of Book's career, which I think we'll see a lot more of.
Yeah, again, thank you, Hornets. But like having Kevin Durant out there makes a huge impact. It opens up spacing. And as we're going to see plenty in the playoffs, it puts a team's second best defender on Booker, which he's used to scoring upwards of 25 to 30 points a night against the best defenders in the NBA. So life is going to get a lot easier for him. I think tonight he was looking to shake off some rust because he hasn't shot the ball particularly well since he's come back, only about like 23% from three. But he was great tonight, 15 of 26, 3 of 7 from beyond the arc, got to the foul line 6 times, 37, 7 and 6. Like he was not just scoring, he was distributing too. And that's going to be huge because these guys are all going to have to sacrifice a little bit to make it work. But there are going to be opportunities for Book to just do what he does and go off like this. And that's going to be fun to watch.
But I mean, he took the distributing to heart early on, had those 7 assists in the first half. But this wasn't as if he was getting a whole lot of super easy looks. Let's not act like this was a cakewalk for Book. He was hitting fadeaway jumpers against a double team. He was doing things when KD wasn't on the floor. He carried them at times in the fourth. So this felt like a weight had been lifted from Book because he knew he had a partner in crime, right? We always said he needed a Robin, or he needed to be the Robin to somebody's Batman. Tonight he had that. You could tell he felt good about it, and he knew he could go out there, and in the minutes he was out there, be as aggressive as he needed to be because Kevin Durant was going to be there to pick him up when he wasn't on the floor and needed somebody else to do it. So great game from Book. I'm excited to see how these guys can grow together and where it goes. I thought for sure we were getting a Devin Booker triple-double because early on I think he had, I think it was like 8, 6, and 5 early on that he had it in that first. It was like, okay, we're on triple-double watch. He didn't finish there, but hell of a night in general.
Yeah, absolutely. He was hitting some of those tough shots like you were talking about, and it was good to see him get it going a little bit from 3-point range again after he'd been struggling there. So yeah, we shouldn't downplay it to just say, no, Kevin Durant opens up everything for him. But if Book has shaken off the rust, like teams are in trouble. You're not going to be able to stop this.
Well, I think it goes back to what Saul was saying, right? Like Book is shaking off the rust at the same time that Kevin Durant's going to start ramping things up. And it's going to be this perfect blend of the two of them with everybody else on this team. And that's what I'm so excited about with Devin and his performance tonight, because the last handful of games since he came back from injury, like, I know I shouldn't be complaining about it, but I have such high expectations for Devin at this point that when he only makes 1 3 a game or when his efficiency is a little off, I'm just like, Devin, WTF.
Right.
This is not who you are.
Yes.
Like, we know what you are capable of. And now my expectations, which is why Devin has to have 30 or more points in order to be our DraftKings king of the game, because the expectations are far higher for him. And I know we needed to have a little patience, let him get some of his legs back, whatever, yada, yada. But this is the Devin I like to see night in and
Just
night
to be
out.
clear, KD does not get king of the game if he doesn't score 30 or more either.
Oh, I know, but that's what I'm
Outside
saying.
of
The
tonight.
expectations for guys like KD and Book are much higher than other people on this team.
Just wait till that first game when they both drop 30 plus
Oh, man.
in the playoffs in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and we fucking hoist that. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I fast forwarded way too fast.
too
Sorry.
ahead of
needs a
yourself
Game
about
7?
it.
Sorry.
How about we just do it on Friday against the Chicago Bulls? I'd be all right with that.
And that's not impressive. Everybody scores against the Chicago Bulls.
I mean, still, it's pretty. Even if it's the Chicago Bulls or the Hornets, like 37 is still a solid outing, and I will take it.
We'll enjoy watching.
Every
it for
I
sure.
love
single
that.
time.
That's solid. Like
That's
most
solid.
guys, some of the guys on this roster, they score 37. You should throw a parade and be like, "Hey, that was the greatest night of your life." Devin Booker, it's like that was fairly okay.
I mean,
said it
shit.
was solid, not barely okay.
We're about to play the Bulls, and what do you have last time? 55, 59,
Yeah,
or 60?
I think
It was 55. I think
Yeah.
55.
55. Yeah, I mean, shit.
All right, we got a couple super chats. Two from Magic.
Holy
Thank you
crap.
so much for your super chats. The first one said, DA, 16 and 16 monster game. DA looks great next to KD. And then sent us another one that said, DA, finesse king like Hakeem, even broadcast said it. So obviously we got a double-double tonight from DA. He helped me win my bet as well. Shout out to you, DA. But what did you guys like that you saw from him tonight?
I mean, DA was solid. He was solid all the way around. He was energetic. He was aggressive. Rebounds were not being fumbled at all. Again, like we expected this to happen to a degree, that things were going to open up for him. And this is, I'm telling you, this is just scratching the surface, because the way he played tonight and the opportunities that he's going to get in the future. And I know Chris Paul's Chris Paul, and I know Chris Paul had 11 assists, but Chris Paul also could not shoot for anything tonight. He struggled.
But he didn't need to.
I know, but he still, every shot he took, he missed. So, I mean, except for one, right?
Yeah.
He had 2 points. And I know he'll get better. He won't have games like that all the time. What I saw was a glimpse, is what I'm trying to say, into the next version of the big three. And that really makes me excited. Just
Right.
saying.
No, and it does. And I think it was him hitting jump shots, of course, and then CP3 being able to set the table on some of the rolls and easy dishes to him, because guess what? You can't commit too much help defense to that pick and roll anymore, because you've got Devin Booker on the wing or Kevin Durant on the wing, and in the corners, you've got guys that can shoot now. So that's going to be really tough to stop. It's going to open things up for DA, and this is something I'll be writing about next week, but he had a lot of interesting things to say at practice last week about how his offensive role is going to change, how he's ready to embrace that, and how he's ready to just do the little things that he did that helped him and the Suns get to the finals during that 2021 run. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Like, obviously 16 rebounds, that's phenomenal. We'd love to see that. Really efficient scoring. He only took 10 shots, made 7 of them. And the 4 assists, like he was the 3rd highest assist getter on the team tonight behind Book and CP3. Like, if all of these guys can just move the ball where it needs to be, they have so much scoring gravity and so much scoring ability that if they make the right pass, somebody is going to be open and get a high quality shot.
This is what I want to see from DA. Take advantage of the opportunities for you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to force anything. You go 7 to 10 from the field. You're aggressive on the boards tonight, getting those 15 defensive rebounds, the 1 offensive rebound, and then pick your moments to pass too, because I think that's an underrated part of DA's game, is his ability to pass. He's pretty good for a big guy, and I think we're going to see more of that with this many great players he's going to be out there on the court with. I'm excited for DA, because this takes the pressure off of him, and he can just be himself, go out there and play his game.
Right. We got another super chat. This one's from Han. Said, if DA gets physical, he will get less cheap foul calls. Some good defensive plays tonight.
Agreed. You got to set the tone early. If you don't set the tone early, then you give the refs the ability to be flexible with you. and pick and choose. If you're aggressive early and they let you play aggressive early, that tends to stick throughout the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, when he comes out ready to go, it pays off.
All right, a couple more super chats, and then I want to go back to Chris Paul a little bit. So this one's from Submerged Suns fan. Hey, thank you for your super chat. Said, from the bottom of the ocean to the mother effing sun, let's go Suns.
There we go.
And then we also got a super chat from Frank that said, hey, Espo, which team is the best in the NBA?
Look.
Frank?
Okay, two things. First off, there's only 84 likes on this video and almost 1,000 people watching this live. So if you don't get anywhere near 150 likes, you're not getting it anyways. But then, Emma, let's put a poll in there if I should actually do it, because I don't want to be blamed for being a jinx. The people are going to make the decision if that happens or not from now on.
I think that's fair, because it is one of those things now where it's just like, is it jinxed? Is it bad luck for us? Is it like, do we need to bury it in the backyard and let it just?
I refuse to be the one to decide.
You know what I
do
mean?
It. The people can decide if it's going to happen.
I'm going to vote no. I just voted no.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Okay, back to Chris Paul.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry I had a minute on the show where somebody wanted to talk to me.
I read the super chat for you. I could have let that
I
super
wasn't
chat
ripping on you.
to the end. Oh,
I was giving him a hard time for going why did we just do that for a minute?
No, I was giving her a hard time for voting while we still have shit going on.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, it's on Lindsay. Come on.
She's like, I'm going to vote right now. And it just got quiet while she was like, nope.
You
it
are
took
kinda
literally
hosting,
2
Lindsay.
seconds. You guys are so dramatic.
Of
Anyway,
course we're dramatic. That's
back
what
to
we're
Chris
here for.
Paul. He only had 2 points tonight, but he did have 11 assists. And the efficiency that we were talking about is all right. 1 of 8 from the field, 0 of 4 from deep. You don't think this is something that'll be a regular thing for Chris Paul, do you?
I don't think it'll be a regular thing, but it's not. It definitely won't shock me to see it again and again.
I think the biggest
Because he's had
thing,
games like that.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the efficiency with this. Like, if you're having an off night, you don't need to be a guy who's taking shots anymore. Like, we wanted to take the burden off of your shoulders even before Kevin Durant. Now that Kevin Durant's is here, that is even more of a reason to kind of take a step back if you feel that way.
I see what you're saying. However, the shots that he was getting
weren't bad.
There was a couple that, maybe, he hits that. He likes that little midi fadeaway a little bit, like he took a couple of those, but I'm talking about like the wide open shots. Like, you got to knock one of them down. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's teams will sag off of Chris Paul at some point and force him to be more of a contributor scoring wise, especially in the playoffs, especially when you got, let's say, the Clippers in town and you got Kawhi, who can match up with KD to a certain degree, and Paul George, who can match up with Book. You're going to need a third or fourth scorer. So who's that going to be? And you're hoping that it'll be CP3 and DA that can be able to help offset whatever those guys are going to do. So you need a little bit more, but it's not a panic. It's not a freak out. It's a whack ass game against the Hornets. Nobody's going to lose sleep over it. Nobody will remember it. But hopefully when bigger games show up, he will show up.
Look, he's at an interesting point in his career because, like you're saying, he does have games now more often where he just puts up a dud in the shooting column. But you wouldn't know it looking at his numbers, specifically the 3-point shooting. He's shooting 37.6% from beyond the arc heading into tonight's game. He's taking the most catch and shoot jumpers that he ever has in his career. The tracking data only goes back to 2013-14, but that's pretty impressive for a guy that played off the ball quite a bit in Houston as well. And he's done well with those catch and shoot threes. So I know our inclination has been when he has games like this to be like, okay, is he going to be able to figure it out? But you look at that January that he had when the team needed him, when he came back from that 2 weeks off with the sore right hip, and he was just hitting everything. I think when the games actually matter and he's not trying to table set and make sure, Book and DA and KD all get their spots figured out, we're going to see a different, more recharged Chris Paul, especially because, like we talked about on the live stream earlier, Like being able to stagger KD with the bench heavy lineups like they did tonight takes a lot of pressure off of CP3 to set the table for all of those guys. And KD's frankly better suited for that task at this point.
How many minutes did CP3 play tonight?
33.
That's much better than 40.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you hope that as KD and Booker and DA get more into a flow, that will also depreciate. Maybe I would like to see CP in an ideal world between 28 to 30. Like that's, to me, that's an ideal amount of playing time for him because of the wear and tear on his body and just, he is getting up there and he does typically play well after rest. And so I would like to see that a little bit more.
Yeah, but the only way you're going to be able to do that is for campaign to return to some kind of form where you can have him play some of those minutes. I think you're going to need that. I'm okay with Chris Paul being the guy that has double-digit assists and doesn't do a lot offensively on most nights, especially a night like tonight where you get Book with 37 and KD with 23. I don't need him to do anything on a night like this other than get those guys the ball and get out of the way. Now, there are going to be nights, like you're saying, where he's going to have to step up, but the fact that you don't need him to do it every night should give him more in the tank to do it on those nights when you do need it from him.
You do need him?
When you do need it. Tonight was doo-doo, and they didn't need it. So.
I agree. Again, however, there's different. I hate to keep saying this because I feel like I'm just stealing Gerald's shit. There are levels to this, right? Like, and by no means am I saying these two players are anywhere near the same category. But TJ McConnell will get you, 8 to 10 assists in a game and not score a single bucket, but it's because he only shot once or twice, right? Whereas Chris Paul, it's the way he's getting those 8 shots and the threes were basically all wide open. That's what I'm like, okay, we need to do a little bit better than that. And I'm not freaking out. And again, it's against the Hornets, against bigger competition. You're going to expect that. And if you see 1 for 8 again from Chris Paul against the Nuggets or against the Mavs on Sunday or against the Bucks in a week or two, like you're going to sit there and be like, okay, Chris, like stop fucking around. Like you got to perform when we need you the most.
Yeah.
So.
All right. A couple more super chats. This one is from Nick. Thank you, Nick. Said, y'all got a sticky note? Slap a big old 5 on that 4 behind you. Talking about the jersey that we have hanging up on our set. It's a 34. Just got to put a sticky note with a 5 on it. And I'll take care of it all.
+1.
Thank you for your super chat. We appreciate it. One more super chat and then a couple more topics. Then we'll come back to a couple more super chats. This one's from Rick. Rick, thank you so much for your super chat. They said, I wanted to ask about the shoe, LOL. Rick said he doesn't get to join us very often, but I'm guessing the shoe's on the table or the shoe Espo's supposed to eat.
The shoe you need to eat.
March 16th. It is happening at our takeover, the pregame event. I will be eating a shoe there.
Mark your calendars.
Mark it down.
And
Sushi is on the menu.
Gerald Bourguet, everybody.
If you can't join us in person, we'll make a video or something like that.
We'll have content.
Yeah, we'll find a way to make sure everyone gets to see that. Don't worry.
Does Espo have a substitute for that show, or are we just raw
No,
dogging
he's gonna have to
it,
power through
I'll be doing the
not.
post-game live from the hospital. Don't know. It'll be okay, people.
Well, the
Espo will be
service
okay.
at the hospital is not that good, so I don't recommend that.
Got a
But
5G card. We'll be fine. Don't you worry.
okay.
Yeah, we'll be okay.
We'll be good.
Health insurance, we're all right. Okay, it's officially March, which means March Madness is upon us. And right now, we have a really fun March Madness bracket
I'm
that
excited
you
for
guys
this.
can join in on the action. So we've teamed up with Run Your Pool to give you a chance to compete in a bracket challenge. You obviously fill it out. You compete against us and one another. And the first placed prize is a $300 cash prize and a $75 PHNX Locker gift card. Second place is $150 cash. And third place is $50 cash. And it's free to play. So if you guys want to join in, head on over to play.runyourpool.com/PHNX and make sure you get your picks in when the brackets are live. So there's a couple important dates. Obviously, March 12th, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Selection Sunday. Brackets open after that. And then March 14, 15, first for play-in games. So those are not included in the bracket, though. And then March 16th, first game tips off, and that's the deadline to fill out your bracket. So keep an eye out for that.
Fun fact, all this money coming out of Max, our sales guy's pocket. So make sure to sign up. We want to bankrupt Max.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. You get to talk a lot of shit to one another. You get to talk a lot of shit to us, and you could potentially win a good amount of money. So check it out. That's play.runyourpool.com/PHNX. I also saw, I think it might have been Amelia in the chat earlier asking what ticket prices for the Mavs game was. I couldn't tell you, but I can tell you if you buy them last minute, you could probably get a pretty good deal on the Game Time app. It works for all over. Like, it doesn't have to be specifically here in Phoenix. You can find tickets to sporting events and concerts up to 60% off when you buy them last minute using Game Time. And the best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in the description. Whether you're watching on YouTube or whatever podcast platform you listen on, the link is always in the description of the show. So it's a really easy place to refer back to. If, in a week or two, you're like, hey, I really want to go check out a Suns game. Let me check how much they are on the Game Time app. That's where you go.
Can I share something special?
Sure.
We've got a very special new shirt that we've dropped tonight and a special offer. The new shirt is our Mid-Range Assassins shirt that we've got. And we've also got the new KD shirt as well.
The Slim
Reaper. Not KD. Just in honor of
Valley
KD being
Slim
here.
Reaper.
Valley Slim Reaper. Shirt. Forget what I originally said. That was all a lie. But we have these two shirts, and if you buy these two shirts right now, you're going to get an exclusive sticker pack, which is that Mid-Range Assassins, the Slim Valley Reaper, and the really sweet PHNX Western font there that you can slap on your computer, you can slap on your water bottle, you slap on whatever you want, as long as it's yours.
Also, if you couldn't see on that Assassin's shirt, it has all 4 numbers of the Mid-Range Assassins, which is DA, Book, KD, and CP3.
Nice.
And
Just
the
a
symbols
coincidence, though. It's not
and the
them.
symbols. I've had this question a lot. It means sun and samurai. So there you go.
There you
Love
go.
it.
It's a cool stuff. You could check it out. PHNXlocker.com.
I think it's my favorite shirt we've done.
It's pretty dope.
It's pretty dope.
All right. A few more super chats. Brian, thank you for your super chat. They said QT is better. Brian, you're wrong. Simple as that.
Yeah, listen, we're not going to have misinformation on this show.
She had that one in the chamber.
I did.
For like
I was
5
ready, Brian.
minutes.
I was ready for you.
There's plenty of places you can go for misinformation on the internet. We refuse to make this one.
Yes.
Then we got a super chat from you, and they said, yeah. In response, I'm thinking to the shirt that you were talking about.
Okay.
That's right when it came
Yeah.
right after the shirt. So that's what I'm going with.
You.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mimi agrees.
We got a super chat from Trevor. Trevor, thank you for your super chat. Said, so crazy to see how far the Suns have come. Those rough 10 years was worth it to see this team become great again. Pinch me, KD is a Sun. I mean, it's
awesome.
about time.
Pretty
right?
awesome.
Like, we've been through it for quite a while. It is about time. We are on the other side. Thank God. Okay, a few questions. Am I wrong?
No, it's just funny the intonation on "thank God."
Oh, God.
Am I wrong?
Like
No.
the trauma from the last 10 years just crept in there a little bit.
A little bit.
all good,
you
though.
know? It's just, what a time. What a time to be alive. Who'd have thought? Not me at all. Okay, Leo, thank you for your super chat. Said, would you guys stick with this starting lineup? Josh in the lineup with Torrey Craig off the bench?
Yes.
Yeah, I would.
You unlocked Torrey Craig again. I mean, he looked like his old self tonight off the bench, especially in that first half. And I like what we're seeing. Now, we'll see if Josh can find a stroke. He didn't really have it tonight. But overall, I thought defensively, that lineup is pretty intriguing with that starting lineup.
Yeah, obviously tonight you were missing Terrence Ross, so we got to get a look at some other guys as well and a little bit different rotations than the 9-man rotation we'll probably see come playoff time. But it did give us a chance to get a better look at TJ Warren. It did allow Craig to come in off the bench and just kind of do what he does. And Kevin Durant playing with that second unit helps there a ton. And I think just Okogie, like you look at his performance, he only had 4 points on 0 of 4 shooting, missed both of his threes, but defensively he fills a little bit more of a need with that point of attack defense that we've talked about, as opposed to a Craig who's still more of a wing defender. So I think if you're bringing Okogie off the bench, then you have to try and juggle minutes for Campaign, Josh Okogie, and Damian Lee, and possibly Landry Shamet if he comes back healthy, because we know Monty's affinity for him. So that's just too many guards coming off the bench, I feel like. You keep Okogie in that starting lineup and have another wing and Craig coming off the bench.
I really hope that Monty picks whoever it is that he picks, preferably Josh Okogie, and sticks to it.
Same.
That's my biggest concern, is that he's going to try and go matchup by matchup based on what the Suns should adjust for whomever they're playing. And we've talked about that before, him adjusting to their opponents and just needing to stop doing that in general, because this team is good enough that other teams should be adjusting to them, not the other way around. And I don't want to see him do that with the starting unit either. So I really hope Monty is like, you're the guy and that's that. And we'll adjust on the fly if necessary. We're not even going to pretend that maybe we should adjust ahead of time. Only if necessary.
Don't get too cute.
I'm asking for growth.
Yeah, don't get too cute. Do what you do. You have the stronger team in most scenarios. Trust that and go with it. Like stop tinkering and trying to play, because what you end up doing is you end up fucking with players' heads.
Yeah.
And that's not a place you want to be when you head into the playoffs. You know, you get geeked up to start or come off the bench, you prepare accordingly because of that. I don't give a shit if it's the day of the game and or 2 days before the game and mine's like, by the way, you're going to start. Well, if I haven't started for the last 15 games, now you're fucking with my rhythm. And I do not like it. And so Monty's got to understand that. But again, you know, somebody made a good point. Monty was never a starter. He was always a bench guy. He was always a role player. Like, he might not understand that that's how guys really groove to that level. But I'm not gonna besmirch him. I'm just gonna say, stick with what your strengths are and just go with it.
Yeah, I think sticking with this starting five moving forward should be the plan. I think there's opportunities for TJ Warren on nights where you need offense out of the second unit. I think there's opportunities for, guys like Ish Wainwright when you need defense. I do think he tends to err on the side of trying to adjust preemptively to what the other team is doing. We've seen it before. He did mention in the past that it could be Josh, it could be Torrey, depending on matchups. I really just hope he sticks with this. And if you're in a playoff series and you lose a game or two in a row and you can tell that what you have is just not working, then maybe you have the flexibility to change it up, because as we know, the playoffs are all about adjustments. That's the time when you do it. But I think for these last 19 games, it's all about building chemistry. It's getting as close to your playoff rotations as you can so that those groups can gel together a little bit better. And then if you have to be flexible and change it up, that's when you do that.
Yeah, I think I said it the night that they traded for KD, but it's the it's the Breaking Bad saying. The Suns are the ones who knock, right? They're the ones that people should be concerned about. They're the ones that people should be making adjustments to, and that's the benefit you have right now. You don't need to be the one looking across the way and going, oh no, what are they going to do? No, you're the team with the 4 stars in your starting lineup. Stick with your starting 5 with Josh Okogie. Make them adjust however they need to you. You don't have to futz around anymore with this, because you're not playing your 5, 1 star and 4 bench guys because there's injuries or whatever. You've got the fully loaded roster now. Don't mess around with it.
Agreed.
All right. And then we also got to see a little bit of TJ Warren tonight, which I know a lot of people were hoping to see more of him. And then, of course, Baisley, which we did not get to see still. But TJ Warren, what do you guys think about him tonight? And do you think TJ will crack playoff rotations or not really?
I don't know yet.
Not sure?
I think it's way too early to tell on that one, because defensively, he's not the strongest. So you need him to provide you something that you can point to and say, okay, that is worthy of being in this rotation in the playoffs, whether it be scoring or maybe a little bit of everything. But but it's hard to judge TJ off of basically 2 games. The first game as soon as they were traded, and then he hasn't played since until now. And so I think we just need more time. I don't know how long Terrence Ross is going to be out, but that helps TJ because the longer he's out, the more opportunities it looks like he's going to get to kind of impress. And I could tell TJ really does care. You could tell he's kind of coaching himself and be like, you got to be better than this, or you got to do this, whatever. So I appreciate that, but it's just way too early to tell.
Yeah, I think when you see KD go to his full minutes, Terrence Ross come back, you're not going to see TJ Warren, and you're probably not going to see Yish at that point.
Yeah.
I think that's the way this rotation winds up shaking out. And look, this is a numbers game for TJ Warren. If they hadn't signed Terrence Ross, he probably would be playing some of those minutes, but they did sign Terrence Ross. I believe there was a promise to him of minutes as well. And we saw at times tonight, TJ Warren struggles to keep that guy in front of him at the perimeter, which makes it tough. I know they're getting used to defensive rotations here. He hadn't played in 18 days, those kind of things. But I think that the defense is what's going to cost TJ's chance to play here.
I agree, but I thought tonight he was pretty good. He was actively trying on defense, and he was, swiping out a lot of balls in the lane as a help defender. Like he put in the effort. He tried to do the most that he had with his time, and he wound up playing more minutes than Ish Wainwright, who is the guy who has been kind of taking his minutes recently. But yeah, I do think the reason that we haven't seen him to this point, it's probably the same reason we haven't seen Darius Bazley much, is learning new defensive concepts is hard. And if you're not a high caliber player who, is right away deserves to be in there, like we forget that TJ Warren was away from the game for basically 2 years until a couple months ago when he made his return with the Nets. And like he put up really good scoring numbers there. But it's tough to come into a new system and learn on both sides of the ball. And I think that's a big sticking point with Monty. And I know people want to see Bazley as well, but I just don't think he's ready. His role with the Thunder was diminishing. That's a sub 500 team. I don't understand the impulse for him to be on a title contender now and be playing heavy minutes. I just don't think that's realistic.
I'll say what it is. People are enamored with the bench player that nobody knows anything about. Well, I am like, what are we trying to do with Bazley here? Like, they've seen him in practice. They've seen his scouting tape. They've played against him a couple times when he was with OKC. Like, we don't need to see anything else more.
It's the young player mystery box thing. Like,
yeah.
It could be a boat, or you could take the mystery box.
Aaron Holiday, we stand for that guy, and the same thing, and Dwayne Washington. So
I think it's just in our nature to want whoever that guy is towards the end of the bench to succeed.
See, the difference for that is like I watched Aaron Holiday play just about every single game he did in college, and I thought that what he provided in lieu of campaign possibly would have given them a spark, because when he did get minutes, he did produce. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like, it wasn't a kind of oblivious infatuation with a player I've never seen before.
That's
95% of the people that are clamoring for Bazley to get minutes have never watched him for 1 second.
So they want
to see for themselves whether or not he deserves minutes or not and can judge accordingly. And I'm here to tell you that ain't happening. Right. He's not going to get minutes.
It's a curiosity thing. It's also a size thing. People in the chat keep mentioning the Suns starting lineup is too small. They don't have enough size. They have 2 7-footers on the back line. Josh Okogie has a 7-foot wingspan. Devin Booker is close to 7 feet. They have the
what?
Oh no, sorry, wingspan.
I was like, what do you consider close? What do you mean to 7 feet?
He's 6'4". He's close to 7 feet.
No, well, I was talking about wingspan.
I got you.
But they have length in that defense. I understand that in some matchups, you might need to adjust because of the size component. But Darius Bazley's not going to start for this team, A, nor should he. And B, like, you have enough length and size with these lineups, with your bench lineups as it is. Again, I get the curiosity to see what a young guy can do. We've seen it with multiple guys on this roster before, But lots of people had curiosity about Ish Wainwright too. And now look, every time he gets minutes, everybody's like, oh, he sucks, take him out. And that's just not like.
We can get there with Baisley too. Now, look, a lot of people are like, well, what?
We will.
Oh,
We
yeah,
will. Eventually. We do with everybody.
I think the part of this that people are missing, they're like, well, why'd you deal Dario for him if you weren't going to play him? Because you saved a lot of money.
It was a luxury tax
Wasn't he
move.
half of Dario's salary? So you saved, I believe it was almost $20 million in luxury tax based on where they are. So it was in part a money saving move, but it's also because if you like what you see from Baisley in practice and things, and you think he has potential for the future, you re-sign him in the offseason at a team-friendly deal, and you keep developing him. It's the kind of flyer you were supposed to take with that expiring salary cap, because you weren't bringing back Dario Saric no matter what. So that money was going to disappear if you didn't utilize it this way. James Jones made the right move here, and you don't need to play him for that to be the right move.
All right, couple things from the chat. One more super chat. This one's from Bobby. Bobby, thank you so much. Said, hello. The shoes that Lindsay is wearing are a lot nicer than the ones on the table. Facts. She might be wearing Converse. Go Lindsay. Converse, they look good on any lady, any color.
Is this Lindsay's
Thank you,
burner?
Bobby.
Lindsay I love my Lindsay's Converse are so
Bobby and I are
nice.
just homies. It's cool, whatever. Don't hate. My shoes are cooler than those shoes.
I didn't.
I'm going to
hate
go
it.
with that.
Just don't-
We're always
am.
hating on the shoes.
I am. And then we also got a comment from Espo's burner that said, why does Lindsay get the special chair? Well, I would like to say I have a special chair because I'm the most special person here, but it's the exact same chair that the guys are in. And they're all from More Furniture, which means they're all special.
Well done.
And you can get a special chair from More Furniture as well by heading over to morefurniture.com, and you'll save big on the best furniture in the Valley when you do go to morefurniture.com. Also, make sure you get the white glove delivery, because it quite literally takes the heavy lifting out of buying new furniture, and it's just a heck of a lot easier. So treat yourself to the white glove delivery.
Especially if you've got stuff that's going up a flight of stairs.
Yes.
Having somebody else carry it up that flight of stairs is quite nice.
Even and in the summertime too, even if there are no stairs, if you're moving or buying furniture in the summertime, you gotta have somebody else do it for you.
By the way, I'm guessing what the chat was asking about is your stool. And it's because Lindsay
That makes
is
sense.
about 4'9" and her legs dangle. And if you sit like that for an hour, you lose all circulation. So
This is facts.
you keep
It
getting
is. It
shorter
is.
every time I reference
I
it, by the
know.
way.
Tomorrow I'm gonna be like 2.5 feet tall, and that's about it. Also, you should treat yourself to some Four Peaks beer, because Four Peaks beer is a treat in and of itself. We have the Suns Brew pack here on the table in front of us. We have a fridge full of all the different offerings that Four Peaks has. So highly recommend you guys check it out. And our friends over at Four Peaks, they will be out at the M3F Festival March 3rd and 4th. So that's just around the corner. You can grab your tickets at m3ffest.com. And also make sure you enjoy a Wow Wheat beer while you're out there. They go hand in hand. Just a reminder, though, you do have to be 21 years or older. And we ask that you enjoy responsibly when you drink Four Peaks beer.
Also, real quick, if you vanish magically from the chat, it's probably because you said some crash shit or you're being rude, and we don't need that here. So be polite, be courteous. You can cuss, it's fine. You can go ham, whatever, but don't attack people and don't be rude. Nobody wants that.
Yeah, this is a nice
you
community where we can have.
You can argue all you want,
Yeah.
for sure. That's not the problem.
Yep.
But once you start crossing that line and trying to get personal with people or saying some crass things to any one of us four, you're probably going to get bounced. Just so you know, there is a code of conduct. Let's be nice to everybody, huh?
ELE. Everybody love everybody.
There you go.
That, or if you're a Lakers fan, you might get banned.
Yeah. You just random bannings for Lakers fans.
We might just put you in a timeout. We won't ban you. All right, a couple more things from the chat, and we have the poll. The poll is completed, Espo, but we'll save that for the very, very final thing. We got a super chat from Laking. Thank you, Laking. Said Katie and Book equal best duo in the NBA.
No lies detected.
That's
Well,
facts.
The code
Yeah.
did make a point, and I will give him credit for this because he has been a little cantankerous in the chat, especially when it came to DA. But he did say, you guys are the same ones who downplayed the Torrey Craig trade when it first happened. No. Correction. I was the first one. When he first got traded to the Suns, I was like, who? Like, why would we ever give this guy any run? And then he became a valuable part of that championship or that finals run. So I will take a step back. Maybe you're right. Maybe Baisley is Torrey Craig 2.0, just waiting and chomping at the bit. I will concede that.
Hey, I want to be fair. The second time they traded for him, we knew who he was.
Yes, we did.
That's
Yeah,
facts. We did.
And we thought it was a good trade, and it backfired. So, what are we doing?
Torrey Craig has done a stand-up job.
Torrey Craig, friend of the program.
Last year, he was not very good.
Oh, I know, but
when he got traded the second time.
Still, Torrey Craig.
This year, Torrey Craig, much better.
Still one of my favorite interviews.
I love Torrey
Fans
Craig.
of Torrey Craig.
Love Torrey Craig.
Okay, one more super chat. T Bounty said, wins the next Four Peaks and or a Legal Pete's event.
Well, our Coyotes crew seems like they meet at Four Peaks before every home game anyway, so you can jump in their chat and ask them. But for us, our next Four Peaks event will be at the end of March, the last Wednesday of the month.
Yeah.
And you can come out, hang out with us. I will buy you a beer. I've always done that. And it's always fun. We're trying to get more people to come out because, there's a few people that come out, but it could always be more. And we understand, listen, we start our shows at 11 o'clock that day. We go live at 3 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
See if you can just say, hey, boss, my stomach's not feeling so good. I think I need a little wild wheat to cure it. And bounce.
Not feeling good.
Just start coughing the day before.
Right.
Yeah. You gotta
you gotta really sell it. Okay.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, I just took one of those home COVID tests and I got them 2 lines and just
Oh
walk
no!
out. Like,
But then you get a whole
2
entire
lines.
week or some
Exactly.
change
Yeah.
working from home.
Got them 2
So
lines.
like,
I got them
not
2
about
lines.
it.
maybe the night before you text your boss like, hey, I'm going out for some sushi. And then maybe 2 hours later, you're like,
Don't text him. That's just so random.
Stomach is not feeling so hot. Just giving you a heads up.
You preemptively tell him,
Yeah.
hey, boss, I'm going for sushi.
Yeah. Me and the homies going out for some sushi.
Just tell him before you leave the office. You don't have to text him.
Hey, boss, on my way home, I think I'm going to pick up some of that shrimp out of the back of one of them vans
Oh,
on the side of the street. Don't think I'll be here tomorrow.
Yeah. There you
All
go.
right. I don't know how to say this name. I don't know. What would you say?
I can't see that shit from
I'm just going to
anywhere
say Phoenix,
near here.
whatever. But they said, think we only got 4 or 5 more games of rotation tinkering before we get our playoff 9. How many games do you guys give Monty before he needs to pretty much solidify it and then allow them to find their chemistry?
I'm going to say 10.
Yeah.
10?
I'm going to
Okay.
say 10. Yeah. Because Monty Williams, oh man, I might get in trouble for saying this one. Monty Williams very much feels like his decision making is like my wife.
Oh boy.
Like,
You're going to get
Clip-
major
no,
trouble for
no.
this one.
Like he has all the information he needs, but for whatever reason, he just needs to take his sweet ass time
Oh, boy.
making it. And I love her to death. She knows it. She knows it. Oh yeah. Well, we have 2 other bedrooms, so I'm good.
Look,
I love you.
If you can get in the house.
you insult,
my
you insult your
goodness.
wife. I feel that's more like my father's decision making. It always has been. But look, how many do I think he should take? I'm right there with them. 10. How many do I think he'll take? 19, potentially
Oh,
20
God.
in the first game of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Lord, I hope not.
I'm setting it around 10. I think it's okay to tinker during this time. People were freaking out about the all bench lineups during the game, even though they played like a minute at the end of the first quarter and then like 2 or 3 minutes in the third. And yeah, they cut it down to 6, but they had already cut it down to single digits before the all bench lineup came in. I think even though you're not going to see all bench lineups in the playoffs, this is your opportunity to play them as many minutes as possible while still riding your best starting lineup to a better record. Like, you've got to evaluate what these guys can do.
It's a minutes restriction thing too.
It's Jose.
With KD on his minutes
Oh.
restrictions, that's part of it too. So I
Yeah,
think that's what
exactly.
it's about.
You can't, people expecting them to stagger right now, like, they are not playing 40 minutes a game in the regular season, nor should they be. Like, you need to save them for the playoffs. Come playoff time, yeah, 1 or 2 of those 4 will always be on the court, but it's because they're going to be playing around 40 minutes a game. So, like, this is the time to figure out what you've got in your bench, guys.
All right, time to tell you guys the results of the poll.
All
So
right.
we asked the chat to vote if Espo should or should not do his whoever the best team in the NBA is, or
Okay.
whatever
Battle cry,
version,
battle cry.
whatever version of that you would like to do, Espo. We won't put you in a box.
Does this mean you lost?
It does mean I lost.
okay.
58% said yes and 41% said no.
Man,
So
what was the other
I'm
1%?
Listen, YouTube is not great at math.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
So you just have to know that YouTube polls are always going to be a little shy of a full 100.
Can't,
Yeah.
I can't wait
but that's
till
just
it's
how it
50,
works.
49 one time.
That's just how it works.
I'm sure there's some rounding that goes on or whatever, but okay. So
It's
I guess
probably
I'm,
based
I guess,
on they don't want to do the percentages, so
Yeah.
they just keep it even or something.
I guess I'm doing this, huh?
I guess so.
The Phoenix Suns have the potential to be the best team in the NBA. Suck it. Who'd we play tonight?
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Suck it. Dallas. Suck it. Whoever
Denver!
else in the NBA.
That was
I love my
hilarious.
That's all I got for you. I just it doesn't feel right yet.
You
They're
gotta-
fourth
yeah.
in the
No,
West.
you can't-
but
you
I
can't
really
say it.
enjoyed that.
It's
I really
hard.
enjoyed
We
that.
can't bring this shit on ourselves
No.
again.
Yeah. You know
Like,
what I mean?
I
So
feel-
that's why I like your improvisation.
Look,
Can I-
they could be.
But can I also say this?
No. Yes, go
Can
ahead.
I also say the fact that I do kind of appreciate how things kind of come full circle a little bit,
Mhm.
because there is such thing as NBA karma. And I think we're starting to see that across the league, right?
Mhm.
Some of those fan bases that had a lot of success early on and wanted to dance all over the Suns' graves, things are not exactly going their way right now. New Orleans, Memphis. And, you know, hey, I'm just saying, like, you be cool.
Just let it happen.
Just be cool.
We can go back to it
We will
when
also
they
listen
win
to our
their
own
fourth
advice.
game in the if they win their
Exactly.
fourth game in the finals.
I-
Until
if-
then,
Yes, I will happily do it when it's factually correct. That was the thing. Last year when I did it, it was factual.
right.
They had the best record in the
That's
NBA.
true.
hmm
They have the fourth best record in the West right now.
Yep.
You know, that's I don't feel right doing it when it's not factual.
I agree.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to say goodbye.
That's
Thank
it?
you guys for joining us. That's it.
That's it. Okay.
We
All right.
appreciate you as
The
always.
5 hours we've talked tonight wasn't
Not
enough.
enough for you?
I don't know why, but I feel like I kind of want to keep going. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to go. You can hang out. We can start you up a whole nother live feed if you want.
You can
Saul.
live stream your drive home from the office.
You can just live stream me sitting on this chair while everybody leaves. How
Yeah,
about
there
that?
you go. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. All right. Well, we're going to be live tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Oh.
Same place.
There is one more thing.
Yeah.
Somebody earlier in the chat said, "What if I already bought the Slim Valley Reaper shirt? Can I still buy the other shirt and get the sticker pack?" And I'm here to tell you, all you have to do is email us at merch@gophnx.com. Tell them what the solution is, or tell them what the problem is, and they got you.
Cool. Awesome. I love that.
Hey, listen.
Solutions to problems. That's the best thing
Mhm.
ever.
One thing we will always do is we will always try to do right by you people, because we appreciate all you buying our merch, being a diehard, and coming on to our shows. So if we can do it, we will.
Okay. So we'll see you tomorrow, 3 p.m. YouTube channel. Of course, if you can't join us live, you can always listen wherever you get your podcast. Thank you guys for joining us who were here in the chat this evening. If you are still here, make sure you hit that like button on your way out because it helps us out a lot. If you are listening wherever you get your podcast, make sure you rate, review, and subscribe because that also helps us out a lot and we really appreciate it. Okay, till we see you tomorrow, you can follow the show on Twitter at PHNX_Suns. You can follow me at Lindsay Smith AZ. You can follow Saul at Saul_Bookman. You can follow Gerald at Gerald Borgay. And of course, you can follow Espo at Espo. Espo, take us home.
I never thought I'd say this, but after a pregame show, a live watch along, and a 70-minute postgame show, I'm sick of my own voice. Ahoy hoy.
Never gonna let go. PHNX though, Lindsay, Gerald, Espo. Saw past the ball, we here to turn up the tempo. Got to understand me, I'll always rep the family. Rally in the valley like Dan G, no plan B. Always on the job, my team.